Hi guys, I'm John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. Today we've got 100 Bullets 47. Jack and Mikey go looking for shrimp and seafood and find tigers at their cousin's place. But first we've got World Fantasy Tarot, the Hermit as the Yeti. I would have thought this one would have been Bigfoot. It's about the ugliest Yeti I think I've ever seen. But it is what it is. We've also got the Conflicted Deck 4, the Two of Spades. This one says, at the end of the world, how would you avoid drones? Let me read it off exactly. After the collapse of modern society, the federal government used several different types of aircraft support to ensure they stayed in power. Some of them were attack helicopters and surveillance drones. If your government decided you were a target, how would you evade helicopters and drones if they came flying near your area looking for you? Well, I can tell you how the Russians and the Afghanis did it. The Russians they had these big helicopters. I don't remember the name of them. I read Charlie Wilson's War about the first Afghanistan bit. Charlie Wilson was trying to supply the Afghanis to fight the Russians. And they eventually gave them Stinger missiles. But at first they had to portion out how many bullets and ammunition to supply them because they were overshooting and they weren't very accurate. And what they did was they attacked the helicopters at the bases where they were taking off. So that's one way. The other thing is, I happen to be in a very densely packed urban area. I already had a Jew threaten me with drones just last week on Twitter. Not even last week, just a few days ago. We had a back and forth, and I told him there were wafting werewolves all around him. He said those werewolves are surrounded by drones. These Jews are high on their own supply. Those drones are supplied by us, meaning the US, and they're piloted by us, generally, meaning the US, by kids out in Colorado. They're not even piloted by Unit 8200. So they're already threatening people with that. The problem is, I happen to live in a densely populated urban environment, and it's going to be a long time before they start targeting American civilians with drones. And by the time they get there, they're not going to have the supply chain to rebuild those drones. They're single use. They're not going to have missiles locked to them and launch them. The other thing is, I've already got all the materials to make thermal camouflage, which is really pretty simple once you know how to do it. It's just a couple layers of ponchos with some foam in between them, so you trap a layer of air so that it doesn't show off your heat signature. It's really simple. Now that's for when you're out in the rural environment, and it's going to be an even longer period of time before they get drones out to attack white people in rural environments. Drones are not the threat. This one says that you've already been targeted. That means some Jew knows who you are and wants what you have. Just move. Just move. You're going to have to be on the move anyhow. So, people are going to get used to wagons again really soon. Anyhow, let's do this. 100 Bullets 47. Wagons and carts on bicycles. And Jews are going to be cannibals also really quick. Mikey and Jack are cruising in a car. These guys are drug addicts. In the last one we saw Jack, it looked like Mikey was going to shoot him and throw him down the stairs with the other 6 or 8 dead bodies he had in his basement. And they're, of course, driving like lunatics, talking about some seafood place. Now this one, Mikey's accent is really Boston. You can totally read it in the script, which is amazing. That's a hard accent to do. It's even harder to bring across in a comic book. And they're out driving around like idiots. And Mikey does a U-turn, looking for this. This is him doing a U-turn in front of a cop, half-eaten donut and a cup of coffee on the dash. And they have got all kinds of crap in the car, open beers, gear, which is like, drugs, I think he says. Let me see, is that right up here? Yeah, look at all this. roaches, smoking weed, shooting up, drinking beers. And he's afraid they're fucked. Jack's like, don't worry. How many times have I told you not to worry? And Mikey points out that every time you tell me that, you've got the gun pointed at my head. Instinct. It's a great title. This is a great page. So the cop asks for license and registration. He says the license ain't good anymore. Mikey says he's barely even used it. And he asks for the registration. He says the car's not yours. He says he borrowed it from a friend. Does a friend know you have it? Well, if I was looking to steal a car, I'd have stole a better one than this. Cop tells him it's illegal to make a U-turn like that. He says he's looking for his cousin's place, Jungle Garvey, who runs a zoo. This cop knows him and says, wait here, give me a second. Goes back to his car. Mikey's freaking out because now the cop has his information. Jack doesn't care. He's like, how long are you gonna let this play out? As long as I can. Well, now they've got my name and info. So Jack gets out of the car, goes back to visit the cop. The cop says, get back in the car. What if I don't want to? Well, then we'll leave you here because we're going out to Jungle Garvey's. So he knows him. Jack and Mikey follow him out to Jungle Garvey's, his cousin's place. They walk up, and Garvey's like, I don't know that big dude. He ain't my blood. And then Mikey sticks his head out of the back. He says, stick those arms up. And he looks at the tracks in his arms, the drug tracks. He says, when are you going to get clean, man? I don't want to bury you. This girl gets up out of the bathroom and walks out and greets them with no shirt on, offers everyone beers. Garvey explains that she's 19 and wants the whole world to know it. And Garvey explains he's got some people coming out, want to take a look at the animals. The cop doesn't want any part of that. Says they'll either try and shoot me or steal my badge. They'll either want to put the badge in their pocket or put a bullet through it. Garvey's explaining that the cop is his partner and he needs his help. But the cop is not interested. Everyone gets dressed. The girl takes off. And Garvey asks Mikey and Jack if they want to help him go down and feed the kitties. They get down there and Jack immediately sticks the meat straight into the cage. And Garvey has to pull his arm out and tell him, that Targo will rip your arm out of the socket and have it halfway to his litter box before you can even think about letting go of that chunk of meat. You got to treat him with respect. And this is what puts Jack in a mood. Because now Jack is considering what it's like to be a tiger in a cage. He's seeing some similarities between himself and everybody else. Because the first thing that happens when everybody meets him is they comment on how big he is and how dangerous he is. This is Garvey's wife, Mary, who knows Mikey. And Garvey explains they got some people coming up. Apparently she's just getting home from work. And they got some people coming up, get everything ready. Okay, no problem. She has no idea he's sleeping with a 19-year-old, or she knows and doesn't care. Garvey explains that some guys from Philadelphia are coming down. We got to get everything ready, cocktails and whatnot. She says, okay. And Jack is just fascinated with the tiger. And we haven't seen any of the other animals. Presumably there's more. There's more than one cage. But Jack is just in love with this tiger. Mikey is in love with the drugs and wants to prepare their next hit. He says they don't have a lot left, but between alcohol and what they've got, they should be all right. Jack is not even paying any attention while Mikey sets up their next hit. They have a conversation about what is he supposed to do with this gun, but first they get high. This is a really cool panel separation right here between the hill and this shot and the cage in the next one. Mikey shoots up Jack, and Jack steps out of the world, goes to La La Land. Then Mikey shoots up himself. Mikey asks him, Jack's talking about, Jack is obsessed with the lion growing up in the cage. What path did he go down to end up here? What does he think? He must have been the biggest, baddest cat in the jungle. Now he's in a cage. What mistake did he make? And Jack is using this as an allegory for his own life. And Mikey brings up the point that they gave you a gun and told you to shoot yourself. What are you supposed to do? Shoot yourself in the head 100 times? Why don't you just throw it away? And Jack's like, I never thought of that. And so he does throw it away. He throws the gun right into the tiger's cage and then sticks his arm in again. So now Jack's got a new question for the tiger. Is he a jungle tiger or a zoo tiger? Jungle or zoo? The tiger's getting pissed. The tiger doesn't have a lot of space, but now this guy is invading it. And Jack wants to see if he's faster. But the guys from Philly have shown up just as the tiger growls and gives Jack a little bit of a warning, and presumably he gets his hand back. Now, if you guys want to find out what happens in episode 48, it's already done. You don't have to wait. Tomorrow we're going to do 49, but this one will be right before 48 in the playlist. So just click on the 100 Bullets playlist and you will see what happens right away. You can watch them back to back. All right. See you guys tomorrow.